Good afternoon, traders, and welcome to this week's Forex Focus. I hope you've all had a good week in the markets. There were definitely some great moves to be had out there and lots of profit that you could have taken advantage of. In this week's show, we've got a couple of trades that we're going to look at that really look like they're setting up quite nicely, and also sort of it's quite a nice combination of trades because you've also got an element of mitigating your risk by taking both of the trades together. So without further ado, let's jump over to the charts and take a look at what is setting up in the Forex markets for next week. So the trades that we're talking about are trades in the Aussie franc and the Euro Aussie. And the way that we're going to structure it, one could argue that you're basically taking a synthetic Euro franc position. But the way that these are setting up, we think that it's a little bit more than that because the Euro franc really isn't going anywhere very fast. And throwing in the Australian dollar aspect to this trade, you get the opportunity, if everything goes your way, for a much bigger movement. The first one that we're looking at is this one here in the Aussie franc. And what we're going to do is let's start off by taking a look at the weekly chart so we can really get some context around this trade. Now, as you can see here, the Aussie franc has been in a downtrend for quite some time. So since 2013, where it made a high up at 1.0332. It's then literally fallen off a cliff and pretty much halved its value to where it was in August of excuse me, where it was in August of last year, down at 0.65. It's then pulled back somewhat, and on the weekly chart you can see that literally the markets have been playing with this level, you know, over and over again. So it broke through a little bit back here where it went and treated a previous level of support as resistance back here, and then it sold away from that level. Let's zoom in there a little bit more closely. Now we know what we're looking at. And then every time you can see the market comes to this level on a weekly basis, it rejects that level, you know, once, twice, three times, came through here, didn't manage to hold the week above that level. It's then come back to this level again. Okay, back here in November of last year. It's come back to this level again in March of this year. Then again in April of this year. Then again in July of this year. August of this year, and we're right back there again right now. Now, what we're going to be looking at, as you know, we don't just literally take trades blindly. So we're going to look for some sort of price action. And the type of price action we're looking at for this level is a liquidity fade. And basically, what that means is we want to see the market break through this level, which it's done. Okay, we then want to see the market close back beneath that level, which is kind of on that level right now. So I wouldn't take a trade immediately this moment. Okay, I'm going to look at the price action when the markets open up this evening, and let's get rid of that. When the markets open up this evening, and obviously potentially into tomorrow, to see that basically it is respecting this level here, and to check that we basically will get a reversal at that level. And that might be that we take it on the daily chart, so we have to wait until tomorrow's close to take this trade, or it might be that we get the opportunity from looking at something like the 1 hour chart. So if on the 1 hour charts we get the market try to come up to this level again, fail to get above this high, and then break down beneath this low, that's certainly something, well, we'll be taking that trade 100% if we get beneath that level. Then the other trade that we're looking at is one in the Euro Aussie, and this one is a nice trade. So if we take a look at this on the weekly chart again, okay, you can see that we've got quite some momentum coming into this trade, and basically you could argue that it's almost the same trade as the Aussie franc, but just obviously reversed a little bit. But what we have going for this trade that could cause the market to break beneath this level as opposed to give us a liquidity fade, which is what we could be looking at on the Aussie franc, is the fact that we believe that fundamentally, you know, the euro is going to get significantly weaker. So we can definitely see the market being able to sustain a move beneath this level here. Okay, and obviously then you have the benefit if you're taking the Aussie franc and the Euro Aussie together, you know, if one doesn't go with you, but the other one does, and you're kind of mitigating your risk there. If both go with you, fantastic. But, you know, you've sort of hedged your position a little bit in taking both of these trades at the same time. And that's what we're looking at for this opportunity here. Obviously, remember that this is educational purposes only. So we're not telling you that you should go and take these trades at all. We're just literally showing you what we're looking to take in our accounts. You then need to go and do your own due diligence, your own analysis, and all of that kind of good stuff to decide whether or not it's a trade that's right for you. But anyway, I digress. So back to this trade right here, the Euro Aussie. What we're looking at is, as you can see here, the market has been making lower highs all the way down here on a weekly chart. It's now come down to this support level, which the market has sort of used as an opportunity to rally every time it's approached this level. The difference being is, look at the momentum in this weekly candle here that the market has come down to this level with. Okay, it hasn't done that previously. Now, what we'll be looking for in terms of a trade, let's zoom out here and let's go into the daily charts. So first of all, we're going to be watching the daily chart to make sure that we don't start to get a bounce on this level here. Now, there are two ways that we're looking to play this. Either we wait for a close beneath this level. If we get a close beneath this level and then a further move beyond that close, that could be a way to get in. But the only disadvantage with that is that we potentially could be leaving a lot of profit on the table. So I'm kind of a mind to actually play this from an hourly perspective and see that the market breaks beneath this on an hourly perspective and then kind of plays around with this sort of level here. So pulls back a little bit and then respects that level. And once it does that, then gives us another break to the downside. And then that will be the opportunity that we take to short the Euro Aussie. Okay? So that wraps up this week's Forex Focus. As you can see, we've got two very, very good trades on our hand. When you kind of look at it and you take a step back, it's almost like you're completely hedging out the Australian dollar part of that trade. As I said, it could be argued that you may as well take a Euro franc position, but we don't want to do that. We believe that this actually has more merit than that, because if we get all of the different parts of the jigsaw playing with us, we can actually make a lot of money on each of those trades there. We're not saying that these are going to be massive long-term trades that we're going to hold for weeks and weeks and months, but if we get the sort of short-term reaction there, it's completely possible that we get the short-term reaction in both of those trades and therefore make a decent profit in both of the trades. And obviously from a long-term perspective, we've got that little hedge in place as well. So that's how we're going to play that trade. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. And remember to subscribe to the channel, okay? Because obviously we do send out the emails to everybody on our emailing list to let you know when we release these videos. Sometimes technology can be a bit of a pain, and it has been known that the email hasn't gone out for whatever reason. But if you're subscribed to the channel, then you make sure that regardless of whether our email software works or not, you will be notified by YouTube when each of these videos come out. So it's just a little button at the bottom there. Subscribe to the channel. Please send us your comments, all of that kind of good stuff. Otherwise, have a fantastic week trading, and we'll look forward to speaking to you in next week's Forex Focus. So take care now.